In the year 2016, a reputable research firm called Ipsos carried out a social science survey to establish the number of vegans in the United Kingdom, a country informally known between you and me as merry old England. And you know what they found? 0.7% of the population of England. 0.7. Less than 1%. Fewer than 1% are vegan. And this study was so finely calibrated as to distinguish those who merely eat a diet that happens to be vegan from those who actually are vegan, with two rather different numbers. Here we are in the year 2024, and instead of 0.7%, the number is being bandied about, celebrated as an established fact that now in England, 4.7% of the population is vegan. If 4.7% of the population of England were vegan, that would not be evenly distributed. It would not be evenly distributed chronologically. People who were old enough to remember World War II would not be vegan at the same percentile rates as people young enough to remember the first season of Friends. Okay? It would not be evenly distributed across the generations, and it would not be evenly distributed geographically or socioeconomically. If 4.7% of the population of England were vegan, can you imagine what an enormously high percentage of young, hip people in downtown London would be vegan, given that throughout the countryside, throughout the periphery, throughout what we might call redneck fox hunting country, out there the number would be practically zero, so we'd have to see a much greater concentration among the young and the hip and the upwardly mobile and the highly educated in downtown London. All right, so 4.7% coast to coast to coast would entail a shockingly high number in the highly educated, moneyed, and youthful elite of London. So that is something you and I would see, you and I would be aware of. You would have had the experience, if the number were 4.7%, of getting on a flight in and out of London, and like more than 20% of the people on that flight having the vegan meal, where the airline stewardess is coming around and row after row, seat after seat, it just seems like everyone's vegan. It just seems like this amazing wave of interest. And you have never had that experience. I'll bet you've been on a flight where you were the only vegan in and out of London, you name it, and where it seems like, wow, the Muslims really outnumber us to an amazing extent. Just look how many Muslims. So let me just ask you right now, without getting into any of the other details here, what seems more likely to you? That the number found by Ipsos in 2016, a world-renowned, respected social science research firm, okay? The number found in 2016 is accurate, whereas the new number in 2024 is grossly inaccurate. That it is the product of a website that will never be cited or quoted in anyone's PhD thesis. That it is a bullshit figment of mainstream press trying to fill up column inches when they have nothing to write and nothing of substance to say. Does that seem possible to you? Okay. Or does it seem more likely to you that the number of vegans in the United Kingdom really has exploded from being less than 1% to almost 5% between the year 2016 and 2024. Now, if you search for this study, if you search for the origins of the study, who commissioned the study and who conducted the study, and you search for the crucial word methodology, you will find absolutely nothing aside from the admission that only 2,000 people participated in this study, whatever the methodology was. And guys, if you can't nail down the methodology, you may be looking at something no more reliable than a click on the checkmark style internet-based survey. The word survey can mean census data. Census, the gold standard, where people go door to door, interview people face to face, and check their ID card and establish their address, right? Where you have real verifiable proof that you're not interviewing the same person twice and so on, right? You have census data. You have a prison survey, in the context of total control, going from prison cell to prison cell. Right? And you know for a fact, you know everyone's identity, you know where they were born, you know their whole prison record. You're really establishing facts with a prison survey. Or you can be looking at an internet interface. Worst of all, today a lot of surveys, people are paid to participate, or people being paid to sit there and click. So methodology really matters. Let me tell you something about a survey with only 2,000 respondents. If the question is, what do you think about Donald Trump? Would you be willing to vote for Donald Trump? And you have a survey of just 2,000 members of the American Republican Party, that is very likely to be a powerful and useful survey, because everybody answering the question knows who Donald Trump is and cares and has an opinion formed before you ask them. If you survey only 2,000 people, and they truly are representative of the general public, the vast majority of those people have never heard of veganism, have never thought about veganism, they don't even know what you're talking about, okay? A survey with a sample size of 2,000 is much too small to deal with gay rights, with the politics of homosexuals, lesbians, etc. It is simply too small, because out of 2,000 representative people, not enough of them are going to be gay. Not enough of them are going to care about being gay. Okay? You can survey 2,000 members of the general population in the United States of America asking about Donald Trump. Everybody's heard about him. Everyone has an opinion. How effective do you think it is to survey 2,000 people about the current leader of the Green Party? How many people, just imagine 2,000 people walking out of a train station. Okay, they all get off the train station and walk out of the train. So now those are not random people. You can't do surveys that way, because if you're all getting off at the same stop, it's not random and it's not representative. It's not. But if you imagine 2,000 people walking out of a train, how many of those people know what you're talking about when you want to ask about the politics of the Green Party, politics of ecology? How many people can just stand there and answer in a meaningful way those questions, as opposed to Donald Trump? How many of those people can answer questions about veganism? I want to ask you in the audience for a favor. I want you in the audience to give me comments below this video, and I want you to report each and every vegan YouTuber, each and every vegan podcaster, each and every vegan leader that has uncritically reported this number. 4.7% of the population of England allegedly, supposedly is vegan. They have reported, some of them just say more than 4%. Some of them just say, oh, the number has increased by 1 million in 1 year. The same statistic, okay? I just heard Totally Forkable saying it. She reported it with zero skepticism, as an established fact, and framed it as good news. And Forkable, I've got bad news, baby. You got shit for brains. And don't forget to wipe, because when you're done, there's gonna be nothing left in your fucking waste of space skull. Okay? You are a grown, over 30-year-old social media influencer, and you don't know well enough to Google twice to check the source of a numerical, factual claim that 4.7% of the population of England is... I know Cranky Vegan reported this as news. I do not yet know, has Earthling Ed reported it? Brian Turner, you tell me. Okay? You tell me in the comments. how many people you've heard uncritically reporting this. I want to close by asking you to remember the cartoon G.I. Joe. I want you to remember Cobra Commander screaming about how he was going to use the world's most powerful laser to carve an image of his own face into the moon. That's what PETA does. That's what Direct Action Everywhere does. That's what Extinction Rebellion does. They do stunts to get headlines. And the question was asked of Cobra Commander on this cartoon show made for kids. Why would he waste millions of dollars on cosmic graffiti? Vegans see themselves as the heroes when they engage in this kind of activism. Headline grabbing, ambulance chasing, self-promotional stunts. And we're not heroes. We are the villains. We are like Cobra Commander, cackling and laughing and lording our superiority over others, thinking that we're going to score some kind of psychological victory when it's our faces in the newspaper, when it's our names in the headlines, or at least when it's the name of some organization we've donated money to. I do not want to be part of a movement built on a lie, and neither should you.